I just want to begin by saying a great quote by an individual who always advocated for justice for everyone, black, white, Muslim, doesn't matter, Christian. That was Dr. Martin Luther King. And he said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. When you look at it, when a mother loses her child and she doesn't know what her son died for or who killed him, that's a threat to all of us. When a young child actually loses his father, and he or she will never find out as to who killed who the killer is of their father, that's a threat to all of us. I want to share something with you. I often talk about issues in the community that concerns all of us. And one of the reasons I always get quite often is the finger sometimes get pointed at the police. Rightfully so, because in 1829, when the founder of policing, Sir Robert Peel, put 9 principles in place, number 7 was the police officers are members of the community, and the community is also the police. The police officers only being individuals that are paid by you to serve you, to uphold the law of this land, and to preserve life. So we take the criticism. But one thing I do want to say is, the police cannot resolve these issues alone. We need you. And it's very difficult for a mother to know that the individual who killed her son is actually walking among the community free. That's a threat to all of us. There is a way you can call without identifying yourself, totally anonymous. And you can report to police. That's through Crime Stoppers, 1-800 Crime Stoppers. I can guarantee you, your identity will not be shared with anyone. I can 100% guarantee you. I encourage all of you. You can even do it in so many different ways. I guarantee you, some of the killers who've killed this young man are in our communities. Someone knows who did it. But a lot of us don't report these incidents simply because we don't want to be caught up in the court system. We don't want to be identified. But what you can do is you can call Crime Stoppers. You can report to us. And I can guarantee you, when you look at from police officers' perspective, we have seen some cases where individuals were shot. We have seen some cases where individuals lost their life. We human beings as police officers, we have children. We are brothers. We are sisters. We are in the community. And there's nothing more difficult than going to our mom and says, I'm sorry, your son has passed away, or your child has passed away. That stays with us as police officers. Those are experiences we never, ever forget. And I can tell you that. There's nothing more rewarding for a police officer to say, you know what, I'm very happy to report to you today that we have arrested an individual who was responsible for the murder of your child. But this issue doesn't lie only with the police. It lies with us. We can do this. You can report these incidents to police without giving out your name. I can assure you, I can 100% say that you can report incidents through Crime Stoppers without giving out your name. This sort of justice is something we can address as a community. Individuals who kill this young man with senseless murders, some of them are in our communities, and we know. You hear it from me tonight. I encourage anyone that's watching, anyone that's listening, report these incidents through Crime Stoppers. No questions asked. We have methods of investigating incidents. Report these incidents. And I can assure you, we're going to put a stop to another mother of grieving, another son that's losing his father. Please report these incidents. I'm going to stop that one at that. Another thing I want to talk about is Sadiq and Abdi Fatah. Sadiq, I've known him actually for 20 years. I know he looks like a young guy, but believe me, I know him over 20 years. I've met him when I was 14 years old. I remember, and he honestly taught me very important lessons that I use it up to today. He was my first basketball coach. He called me one day and he said, Maxamuud, I'm interested in starting a basketball team. I said, so what? What's so special about that? I play in a basketball team. But he says, this basketball team will be different from all other basketball teams. I said, how so? He said, you know what? It's going to be a team that's going to be put together, that's going to be traveling from Ottawa to Minnesota, to San Diego, to Toronto, to everywhere. I said, okay, I'm in. But just to be a little bit suspicious, as a young man who was growing up, I honestly thought when he called me, he was bluffing. And I was asking myself, what's in it for him? Why is he doing this? What's really in it for him? I didn't trust him when he called me. He called me and says, Maxamuud, come down, I'm going to give you a list. I'm going to give you an actual paper so you can write up the players. I called up one of my friends. I said, hey, man, this dude is trying to meet with me. Why don't you come down with me? I don't know what he's all about. So we came down. He gave me the list, and I remember him laughing because I think he understood that I actually brought somebody with me just to make sure this dude wasn't jumping me or anything like that. But from that moment on, it changed my aspect of how I look at giving back to my community. It really did. It really did. Because individuals like Sadiq, I know he's very, very passionate about doing this. We should support him. And when he called, like Constable Abdul Abdi said, when he called and said, I'm doing this, we all said, hey, we're in, man, because I know what it's all about. I know he's not doing this for anything other than because it's his hobby. He's passionate about it. And I hope, a lot of people talk about tonight and said, we come together and then we leave. I really hope tonight some of us who are here gets inspired by what happened tonight. And we do take some actual actions that can change in our community. I'm very proud of being Somali Canadian, and I'm very proud, honestly, being a police officer. I'm gonna stop there. But what I do want to say is, and remember, we're here for you guys. And you know what? If you ever need anything, let us.